Yeah. Sorry guys, just took my headphones out because I was listening to some great music. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite albums of this year 2025. And I did make a video in the summer on some of the albums I was listening to that summer. So there is a few of those that you'll see come back in this video. And I think, like I said in that video, my thoughts on music are they're not as I'm not as critical with music as I am for like film and TV shows and all that stuff. So if your favorite album isn't on this list, that's totally fine. And as well, I'm trying to listen to more our artists and more albums and that kind of stuff. And I think I did venture out a little bit into different territories. But for the most part, I kind of stuck to what I was familiar with. And that's not, I think with music, you don't have to explore crazy different things. And I'm trying to explore more stuff. But the point is, yeah, there might be some basic takes or basic stuff in this, but that's totally fine. I'm not super critical into music. If I like the vibe of a song, if I like the vibe of an album, I will. That's kind of how I roll. And as well, these albums aren't going to be ranked. I have 10 albums that I really like this year, and then the top album, the last one that I'm gonna get to, is gonna be the definitive number one, my all-time favorite of the year. But let's just get into the little list, guys. I have a few honorable mentions. One of them is going to be Riveria, sorry. But it's the new album from The Help. I've recently been getting into more of The Help stuff. Super cool, super poppy, energetic. I really like their vibe. I listened to a few of their old albums and I've been messing with it, and their new album is pretty cool. I like the style and the vibe that they're going for. And then as well, Music by Playboi Carti. Of course, the Carti fan. Sorry guys, this isn't going to be on my list. I think there's more songs that I've revisited a lot throughout the year rather than the album as a whole. That's kind of why it's not on the list. There's it's a very dense album with 30 songs, but there's a lot of great bangers on it. So I got to add it to the honorable mentions. And then the last honorable mention is going to be Black British Music by Jim Legacy. I talked a little bit about this in the summer music video. Thoughts are still the same. It's, he's part of like this new generation of rap where, it's a little bit more experimental. There's some cool stuff happening in this album. But again, similar to the other albums as a whole, I'm not crazy about it. It's more, there's a lot of great songs on this album. But first album on the list is going to be The Crux by Joe. If you don't know Joe, it is Joe Keery from Stranger Things. Guys, that's right. Stranger Things Season 5 comes out now. I'm pretty sure it's all out now. And yes, guys, I'm sponsored by Stranger Things Season 5. Season 5 is the best season of them all. Check it out. Stranger Things Season 5. Joe Keery is in Stranger Things, and he sings this album. No. Just joking, guys. Just Joe King. Okay, I'm gonna stop whatever this is. Yeah, I found it was a very catchy and upbeat vibe to it all, and I really liked it. And it came out in the spring, and it definitely has that springtime energy to it. And I feel like all the songs are very consistent tone-wise, which I really like. So it's a great album to just listen to from front to back. But as well, there's a lot of great songs that I've been individually listening to throughout the year. Yeah, just good music for good weather. I think that's why I resonate it with springtime, just because when it was out, I was listening to it outside, listening to it during the spring weather. And also the album cover is so cool. I really love the album cover, super detailed, and it's great. Next album is going to be Equus Caballus I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but it's the second album from Men I Trust that came out this year. The first album, I also can't pronounce it, sorry guys, but I enjoyed this one more than the first album that they released. The first album I thought was really well done, but it was a very somber album, and I think it's one that I'll probably be trying to revisit more. I think just at the time I couldn't quite get into it as much, and I think this album that I'm mentioning that's on the list is more similar to their previous albums, which I really like Untourable album. I love that album from them, and I listen to that all the time. It's great winter music. Men I Trust is really great winter music for sure. So I feel like I'll definitely be revisiting this album more. And yeah, it's I love the mood. It's very moody too, and their first album had a very specific mood that was a little bit more stripped back, and I think this album, Equus Caballus, there's more to it. I'm not more rhythm, but there's definitely a stronger vibe that this carries for me personally. And then we got Star by Two Hollis. A little bit of a genre shift, but this has been great workout music for me throughout the year. Very fun and just energetic, and it fits the vibe of the new like hyper pop wave that's been going on, and I've been getting into that as well. It's a lot of fun, and so this is Two Hollis. He knows what he's doing, and there's a lot of cool stuff, cool samples too. Like I love the usage that he takes on Burn, where he uses the song 1,000 Miles. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's just it's music that's gonna get you going. And Two Hollis has been like one of my most listened to artists of the year, and I've started to get more into his stuff. So yeah, love Star. And then this is a more recent one that I've been messing with, but it's Anywhere Here Is Perfect by Sam Gillatry. And his stuff is super, super fun, super upbeat, very energetic stuff. And I love the funkiness and the grooviness that he puts into this. And like his previous, what I love about him as an artist is that he creates his own soundscape. Like there's very distinct stuff that he chooses to do in his album. Very cool creative choices. If it's with like distortion, or I don't even know because I'm not really that tapped into the musical terms, but he adds a lot of little cool things that maybe most artists wouldn't, but I think that's what gives him his own like personal flair. And I was watching a little bit about like a little behind the scenes. He was breaking down one of his songs and showing a little bit of stuff that he was adding or removing to get his like signature sound. So I really appreciate like what he's doing. And then this album as well is a great album to listen to front to back. There's no skips in this one. Very easy to listen to, so I loved it. Next one is going to be Don't Tap the Glass, Tyler, the Creator. That's right. Another freaking basic take. Guys, actually, I don't care at this point. Guys, if it's basic, it's basic. I like it, okay? I mentioned this in the summer video, but yeah, I'm just going to repeat myself. It feels very refreshing, and there's a loose feel to it. I did mess with Chromacopia, but I was kind of done at that point. And when he released Don't Tap the Glass, I was like, I wasn't super pumped for it, just because I was like, okay, Chromacopia just came out, and I did like it, but I wasn't super enthusiastic about it. I thought not the marketing, but the stuff surrounding the album was really cool, with the production design and the costumes and all that stuff. The music videos were cool, but as an album, I liked certain songs, but I wasn't crazy about it as a whole. So when Don't Tap the Glass dropped, I wasn't like, let's go, another one. I was just like, okay, let's see what it is. But I think it feels more rewarding just because it is a different shift from Chromacopia. Feels more refreshing. And this was an album that was like the soundtrack of the summer. Like when I think about the summer, I think about Don't Tap the Glass, or vice versa. When I listen to some of the songs from the album, I think back to summer 2025. So there's some good memories tied with the album. Another great soundtrack. Why am I saying it like that? Another album that was kind of my soundtrack of the summer was Blush by Kevin Abstract. As well, I've still been enjoying it since the summer. And I've been messing with Brockhampton and Kevin Abstract stuff for a while, and of course, rest in peace Brockhampton. But this does feel like not a revival, but it feels more of a group effort in this than Kevin Abstract's solo project. Like there's a lot of great voices and a lot of great talent included in this, and I think that's what really works for me, where you can kind of tell that this was a communal effort, and there's a lot of different voices going into this and a lot of different sounds going into it. So it definitely works as like this kind of group project that's very like Brockhampton-esque. Next album gonna be Vanisher Horizon Scraper by Quadeca. This is one that I really, really got into during the summer, and I haven't been listening to it as much as a whole since then, but I'm still going to include it in the list just because there's a lot of great songs that I still listen to, and just the production of it all is super cool, very bold and ambitious, and Quadeca is one that I've been starting to get more into, and with this one specifically, it feels like he's found his voice. Not saying that previously he didn't, but this one has a very consistent style and tone, but it goes in different directions throughout. Like there's certain songs that are they're gonna have different vibes to it, but as a whole, it flows very well together as a whole, and it's paced very nicely. Where some songs kind of take a breather, and then some songs are like super grandiose and like build up and all that stuff. And don't know really how to describe my feelings on it, but is great. That's what I'll say. And then another one on the list is going to be Getting Killed by Geese, and this is a different vibe than what I normally listen to. At the start of the year, I got I got into Cameron Winter's solo album Heavy Metal, and I really messed with that. And I didn't really know about Geese at the time. I knew he was part of the band, but I hadn't listened to them. But I really, really messed with Cameron Winter's album. So if that came out early this year, it would definitely be on this list. But it was a 2024 release. But slowly, as I was getting more into Cameron Winter's discography, I listened to a few songs from Geese, and then when their album dropped, that's kind of when the hype really built up, and then that's when everyone was talking about it. And at that time, yeah, I might as well everyone's talking about it, might as well give it a listen. And I think there is some albums that I like, but at first it kind of takes some time to get into. You kind of have to like familiarize yourself with the vibe. Like, okay, what are they trying to get at? So at first it can be like, okay, like what is this really? But then over time, some songs grew on me, and then some songs I really loved. And it's an album that feels very fresh and exciting, and I think it's super cool that these guys are super young and they've already had this like crazy, I don't know, I was gonna say crazy blow up, but I don't even know if it's like what I'm seeing is online. Everyone's like, oh, Geese this, Geese that, I love Geese. But I don't know if that's just my algorithm talking to me because I interact with Geese content. I don't know. It's kind of messing with my brain because everything I see, or not everything, but over the last couple months, I've seen people say, oh, Geese is awesome, let's go. And then people posting little things with Geese and doing all these things and doing all that. And then I saw like Jack Black on an interview was like, I love Geese. Geese is awesome. Yeah, they're great. Cameron Winter's awesome. And then I'm seeing when Cameron Winter performed at the Carnegie Hall, and then Paul Thomas Anderson was there and Benny Sapti was there, and then everyone, I got like multiple just videos of Cameron Winter is so awesome, and Cameron Winter is the new voice of the generation. And I'm not here to say this is wrong or these opinions are stupid. What I'm saying is, over the recent month or so, I'm seeing so much Geese, Cameron Winter, all this and that, and I love it. I love people. Hey, you guys like what I like? This is awesome. But I don't know if this is just because this is like a circle of people, or if this is just I don't know if it's a very specific niche that I've come across, or if Geese is really that big. Who's to say? Let me know in the comments if you know the band Geese. But yeah, the album is great, and it feels like it's kind of pushing genres, and it's doing cool stuff. And yeah, I'm excited to see what they do next. And Cameron Winter is awesome, and his voice is super satisfying to listen to. And I would say this would be one that I would say give it a try. And maybe first do what I did and listen to Cameron Winter's heavy metal. I don't know which one's more accessible to get into, but the way I did it, Love Takes Miles is his like most popular song. Start with that, get into heavy metal, then maybe transfer over to Geese and Getting Killed. That's what I've been doing. I'm not sure if that's going to help, but. And then next one, second to last, is going to be Earl Sweatshirt's new album, Live, Laugh, Love. And this one hasn't been like one of the most listened to albums, but it's one that I appreciate more. And just because I found the lyrics more meaningful and more impactful, and especially like learning about him as a person, and his having his son and all that stuff, it's incorporated into this album. So I think that's what makes it more meaningful. There's a level of maturity with this album, which I think is really cool. But as well, he's still sticking to the sounds that he's known for, and doing all these interesting and unique production to it all. So yeah, I just really, really mess with the album, and it has a very mellow vibe, but it's really good. And yeah, it's cool. It's a cool album. Okay, now we are getting to the top album of the year. Not sure if you guys can guess, but it is going to be Tame Impala's new album, Deadbeat. Of course, this is one that I've been messing with for the last couple months that it's been out. One of the most re-listened to albums for me in such a short period of time. But it doesn't get old. It doesn't get old, man. It's a great album to listen to front to back, or just choose your favorite songs. You could do that. And it is a bit different than his previous albums. And I know initially, like, it was getting some backlash. I don't know what it's at now, if it has grown on people. But initially, when he was dropping the singles, people were like, this is a different style than what we're used to. People were acting like he was giving up. Like, he's just, he's not good anymore. And it's like, come on, guys. Because if Kevin Parker, I'm going to address him by his full name because I'm that tapped in, that's right. And did you know that Tame Impala is one guy and his name is Kevin Parker? Yeah, fun fact for the day. But if he just made a similar version to the Slow Rush or Currents, but just not as good, that would just be way more disappointing. If it was like, this is kind of like Currents or the Slow Rush, but it's not as good as those. But no, this is like, it's its own thing. There's different things happening in this album, and I really appreciate the production. And I love the incorporation of just using like a single piano that either like transitions from the start of a song and goes into the more heavy production synth stuff, or if it transitions out of the song where it's the very end and then it just the song leaves you on just this echoey single piano. And I thought that was cool. I thought that was a cool addition where it just kind of isolates the song. Is that good? I'm trying to get better at critiquing the music, so let me know if these are good terms and adjectives that I'm using for this. But yeah, just love the usage of all the synths and very ethereal vibe throughout the album. And I think it's like the top album that I've been recommending to people. Like, you gotta listen to this, guys. It's super cool. And those are going to be all the albums that I liked from this year. Let me know what kind of albums you're listening to. Give me some good recommendations if you'd like. And get on out of here. Hey,